Welcome back. This is part two to this little video I want to make on authenticating and valuing uh, walking Liberty half dollar. And I said there's better ways to do things as far as like more professional ways to do it. But I'm just showing you how I would do it as just somebody that I might get a couple of coins a month. Just a casual stacker or collector where I'm not really dealing with coins every day. I don't have people coming to my shop in and out buying coins every day on a daily basis. But just as somebody that, I might pick up a few coins a month or maybe one or two a week or something like that. And this is how I go about uh, valuing the coins in this video. I use three books mostly. You have this Grading Coins by Photographs. This is a really good book that it shows you in photographs how to actually grade the coin, what things to look at. Um, we talked a little bit about the red book. We have our red book, and I also use the blue book. So you have an official red book and an official blue book. And the way I look at these two, the way I do it, because the gray sheet's more accurate as far as auctions and things like that. And that's another way you can too. You can look at sold auctions on eBay and I guess Whatnot might also cover that. But the way I do it, I kind of look at this book here and this book here, and I just add the two together and divide it in half. Because you kind of got to think of it like the ask price and your bid price. When you're doing metals, you have an ask and a bid. So you take those two prices and you add them together and just divide it by two. And that's how I would normally kind of get just an approximate value. You make sure you're not overpaying too much. Even if the gray sheet might be a little bit under, you're not really overpaying all that much by doing it this way. But, so we start with, if we go into our gradient, and I kind of put a little saver in here to save me space. Now I gotta find it again. Okay, so we want to start with, we want to go straight to this book, and it has lots of little pictures of all these different auto coins and all your different grades. So I don't know, I'm kind of looking at this coin. I'm somewhere, and you can kind of take the coin and you can put it next to it and compare the pictures. And I'm thinking I'm pretty much somewhere in between. So we want to compare it and just kind of up, check down, maybe check below it. So I'm not that worn out as the below one. But I'm pretty much like maybe a G4 or possibly like a G6. But it also gives you in this book, it says the wear is slightly more extensive on the obverse, but the rim is still defined all the way around. Tops of the plates, numerals are worn and blended slightly into the ground above, which this one, we can kind of see. It's kind of matches that description a good bit. Well, I think I didn't really talk about, I should have took out my jeweler's loop last time to show you what the date, that mint mark was. Sort of make out with this light, but so we got a 33S here. And I'm thinking it's pretty much like maybe a G6, but just to kind of go over all the description, read through everything. We'll just, for simplification, we'll just say it's a G4. Okay. And this is the book I would use just to kind of give me an idea. Because with numismatics, the grade of the coin is pretty much everything. The grade of the coin, you can be in a mint state, you might be hundreds of dollars. In these lower grades, you can be $20 or so. It's a lot of range, and grade is everything with numismatics. And this book right here is probably for just a casual person. This book right here is probably the most helpful as far as understanding on how to grade. Just in just a general knowledge sort of way. I mean, I'm not trying to apply to NGC or anything like that, but just as a casual collector, this book right here is really helpful. So we know what we're thinking. It's going to be this will be like a G4. It'll be a 33S. Oh yeah, 33S G4. So you're saying about $17 in the red book. That's that'll be kind of high to me. $17 for just a junk silver coin. So what I would do, I'll take the red book and also look into the blue book. In the blue book, so you find 33S, shows you mintage numbers, and it's saying $10. So you're saying $10 in the here in the blue book. So that's what I'm saying. You got to think of it like the ask price and the bid price. You're gonna have two different prices. So you got to add them together. You either $17, $10. More than likely, we're going to be somewhere in between. And let's say, like, if I wanted to, if there was somebody out there that was looking for like a 33S, for a coin album or something like that, they would, this be a coin that they might want for their album, but you don't want to overpay for it. You really don't want to rip people off too. So what I would do, $17 plus $10 divide by 2, $13.50. $13.50 in today's market, it's not really a bad deal. So you're saying you say roughly $13.50. It ain't too bad considering I picked this coin up for maybe $12. So that's how I would go about just valuing coins. It just as this 1350 would be sort of a roundabout. It's not when you're looking talking about auctions, it can go up. It all depends on how much buyers are really looking at it and how much people are really into that certain coin. But just a general approximate value. That's kind of the way I would do it. So that's all I got. And if you got any questions, just drop them down below. I do the best I can explain. I'm not very vocal as far as explaining myself, but I think I just did the best I could. So anyway, thanks for watching.